Well, hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Starling Ballpark here in Ranui. That's the west of Auckland. You're watching the 2019 Bears Classic Tournament here. That's the Waitakere Bears here on Saturday. Day 2, game number 3 on the schedule. We'll see the home side taking on the visitors in this one. That will be Otahuhu. Otahuhu coming out of commanding form last night in their opening matchup. That was, of course, against Mount Albert Ramblers. So they are red hot as they come into this one. Waitakere Bears will be coming in after their early matchup last night against Auckland Mariners. I'm Jason Goobies, a.k.a. Chopper. Joining me in the booth in this one is Lani Hutchinson. Lani, Waitakere Bears against Auckland Mariners. How did they go last night?
Was not the best game they had all season. A little bit short on the batting last night. Mariners came up very strong and they hit hard and flat in the conditions out here last night with the horrendous wind. The ground dries is what brought them home. Big score in the end, and she was done in 5.
Done in 5 indeed, and so was the earlier matchup. So 2 quick ones. We are playing fast pitch rules here in this tournament, and should be outstanding. Fast pitch rules, of course, for those who can't remember it, means in the first innings a runner will start on 1, the second innings a runner will start on 2, and the third innings a runner on 3, and so on back to first for the 4th innings and onwards. We're just about to get underway here with the first pitch in this, the morning round, 9 o'clock starting game, as we said, between Otahuhu.
I'll come and see you after this game.
Otahuhu and Waitakere Bears. First pitch delivered by the starting pitcher here for Otahuhu. That is Lauren Parker, and it is in the dirt. I'll give you those fielding lineups for you shortly. Parker, this one's a low lifter that'll go up, foul into the netting just above home plate. That's there to stop those balls going back into the neighbourhood behind Diamond 1 here. So in this particular match, even though it's their home ground, Waitakere Bears will be the visiting team in this one. Ground ball goes to second base. That's Gerbies. Will backhand it over to 2, and safe, called out there by umpire Edwards, and Waitakere Bears get runners on 1 and 2 now. That is Michaela Cross was the leadoff runner at first base, and of course Kayla Clark there with the hit to second base. Karina Hale now, she'll be the designated player in this one. Long-time slugger for Waitakere Bears will step in to go to work. Drop ball just down below the zone. So Karina Hale, Lani, over the years in your time commentating her and watching her play, what type of hitter is she?
Hale's always been one of the main power hitters for the Bears. One of the few girls that you will see on occasion put it over that back fence. And with the experience that she carries, she's the reliable one that they go to. She'll punch the gaps and actually just move the runners, do her job every time.
Does her job every time. You can't get any better than that from Karina Hale. Of course, Hale family synonymous in softball in New Zealand. Low lifter from Parker is good this time though. Just catches Hale looking. Synonymous, of course, the name Hale. We all know Donnie Hale, his amazing career with the New Zealand Black Sox. Currently residing in Japan is Donnie. Drop ball not teasing enough for Hale. She'll let that one go away.
You talk about that Hale family, and you will see it today. Younger daughter of Karina Hale also in the team now.
Well, that's the exciting part, isn't it, Lani? Seeing these younger generations coming through the grades, and you're right, young Shire Hale, boy oh boy, she might be young. The lifter's not tempting enough either. She might be young, but boy oh boy, does she pack a punch with a bat.
She is a mother's daughter. I watched her, even in the strong wind, punch a triple out to the back fence just last week.
Well, named as a non-travelling reserve for the Junior White Sox to Irvine for the World Cup earlier this year, and didn't get a chance to go to the event. All the girls were fit and healthy. However, just to be named in that squad is quite an achievement at the ripe age of 14.
14 years old. That's the thing you got to realise. I mean, and with the Bears now, they are seeing a lot of the young ones coming through. You know, there are kids on this team, 14, 15 years old, and you know they're playing with with their mums now, basically.
Here's a hard hit ball. Will it get caught? No, it won't, because it's foul down the left field line.
There's that Waitakere win for you, mate. It will push it down that line every time.
Oh, you don't have to tell me about the Waitakere win. I was here last night. Boy, oh boy, it blew me all the way home, I tell you. There's a little breeze here, still coming in from the Waitakere Rangers. So that's centre field into home plate here locally. Fights that one off, does Hailstone. He's alive in the account. 13 degrees here locally at the moment. Breeze is nowhere near as heavy as last night, but it is still present.
One of the great things you will see with Karina too, nothing actually gets under her skin. You'll always see her laughing it off. Even if she's having a bad day, she'll just get on and get it done.
And she'll get it done here. She watches that one load the zone. Very patient walk as she will now load the bases. And just what the doctor ordered, because the meat of this lineup is their international stars. And that is Kayla and Rebecca Bromhead. Both spent a lot of time in the White Sox, especially Kayla, who's up to bat now.
Yep, Kyla, definitely one of the major players in this team. Again, very handy behind the plate, but it will also deliver with the bat as well.
Drop ball gets away and she'll come home on it. Yes, she will. That's the young speedster shortstop, Michaela Cross. That's why she's in the 9 spot, because as we just mentioned at the beginning of this match, the runner will start at first base. That's how she got on in this fast pitch rules. And Waitakere Bears will open up the scoring.
Yep, good to see Michaela coming more into the team this year. Last year she predominantly was the DR, did her time with the team, just doing their apprenticeship. Young, quick, and there's the result right there.
I got a lot of time for that, to be fair, Loney. Spending your time, earning your dues.
You got it.
And it does a couple of things. One, you need to learn the game, right? Especially at the Premier level. And just being on the bench, let alone being a designated runner or a pinch hitter or whatever the case is, you learn so many things from those older players and watching the game, and you watch your position out there. And Michaela Cross is a student of the game who's learnt so much just in one season.
Yep, absolutely. And you see it. You see the young ones that actually are hungry and they want to learn. They're just constantly asking the questions, watching the game, and they're the ones that will keep going right through to that Sox level.
Well, Lauren Parker still working here. This one's skied up. So looking for the first out here, Otahuhu.
It's a better start today from the Bears, definitely from last night.
Oh, to be fair, it was pretty hard to get the engine running last night. It was very cold. And it is their tournament, Waitakere Bears, so they are going to perform this week, don't worry about that. And there's a rare strikeout by Bromhead as she'll head back to the dugout. Sister Rebecca now will step in, third basewoman here today.
Yeah, that's part of the amazing part of it too. You know, Kayla Clark, Rebecca Bromhead, Kyla Bromhead, all members of that 200 club, 200 Premier games. It's just huge depth.
There's a hard hit ball. Can she get it over the top of ball on the shortstop? No, underneath that, 2 hands. Calls it loudly. So they played their first run, do Waitakere Bears. Then 2 quick outs here. And they'll turn it over to Emil Umatangi.
Yeah, Tennille, another one of the young ones in the team. Another absolute speedster, this one. Was predominantly the main DR for them until she'd obviously, again, done her time. Left-handed slap hitter.
This one skips away. Coming home is Clark. Can she get there? And the slide on the outside. The hand is good. Michaela Clark turning the clock back there. She scampers home for the second run of the ball game. Waitakere Bears leading 2-0. Just a couple of loose deliveries here from Parker in the first innings. She's finding her way around in Mochaccino this morning. Gotta say, Michelle Cross brought me a Mochaccino last night, and that gale force freezing Antarctic wind we had, boy oh boy, she was a lifesaver.
No doubting that one, mate. Straight down the centre.
Straight down. Hey, diddle diddle. Well, it looks like I finally got ice score set up, and it didn't take too long. I just got to catch up on what happened in the game. Omatangi left-handed specialist, a pick-off attempt, and nice work by the left fielder, Tanisa Hokomo. Let's give you the fielding lineup for Otahuhu now. I'm set up for you. It is Hokomo at left field, Miriama Marquez is at centre. Alex Blom will be the starting right fielder. Ariana Kingi, Logan Morland, third base and shortstop. They'll be on the left side. On the right side is Madison Gerbies and Gretchen O'Coin at first base. Santana Hala behind the dish, and as we've mentioned a few times already, it is Lauren Parker, the starter in this one. Batting lineup for Waitakere Bears. We saw Kayla Clark, Rena Howell, Kyla and Rebecca Bromhead. Tenio Omatangi now, of course, she picks up a walk and go down to first base. It'll be followed by Kiara Tamai, Sam Smith, Maya Lupton, and Michaela Cross, the speedster, will round out the batting order here this morning for Waitakere Bears. Kiara Tamai, Lani, I want to ask you about her. I've noticed last year how all of a sudden I got quite impressed with her stance and her approach in the batter's box.
Yeah, and look, there's again, there we go, there's the stance right there.
Coming
Got
off
that time.
Yeah, off the end of the bat, and the second baseman Gerbies will take that one, bread and butter.
But another one of the young ones, though, that has benefited from being part of this team, obviously under the guidance of Dion Nukunuku. And I mean, you know, he's a taskmaster, and he'll call you if you're not actually getting it right. But again, combine that with the experience of the Bromheads, Kyla actually coaching the 18s team and 17s last year, which Kiara was a big part of.
Yes.
When you've got that sort of experience and coaching power behind you, you know, it changes the game.
Well, it sure does indeed. And it's Waitakere Bears, though. They open up the scoring here in the top of the first. They lead this one 1-0. Congratulations to them. We'll be back with the bottom of the first of the lineups for you shortly. Well, no need to call us Big Papa, that's for sure. It's Jason Gerbies, aka Chopper. We're bringing you along in this one, game number 3 of the Waitakere Bears Classic here at Ranui. That is Starling Ballpark in the west of Auckland. Lani Hutchinson joining me. Let's give you the fielding lineup for Waitakere Bears. Just about there, actually. I'm just going to finish putting in there the stats on the last innings. So I'll give you the batting lineup for Otahuhu first. It'll be Miriam Marquez leading off. Alex Blom will hit to the right fielder. Logan Moreland, apologies. Gretchen O'Coin will be hitting in the clean-up spot. Tanisa Hokomo, the left fielder, will be hitting 5. Santana Hala, Lauren Parker, Harian Kingi, and Madison Gerbies will be hitting 9, running at first base here in the first innings under these fast pitch rules.
I can give you that lineup there. On the hill for the Bears is Sachi Clark. She's pitching to Kiara Taimai behind the plate. Maya Lupton taking first base today. Tania Lamatangi playing second. Rebecca Bromhead is taking up the third slot with Michaela Cross in short. Out in left field, you've got Sam Smith. Kayla Clark, the ever-experienced, out in centre field. And rounding out their starting 9 is Kyla Bromhead out in right field.
And plenty of action again here in the bottom of the first innings. We saw how well Waitakere Bears started off, almost a copybook situation, and allow Gerbies to go to second as Markia will get down to first. So runners on 1 and 2, no outs here, and I'll bring up Alex Blom, the right fielder. Blom puts down the sacrifice bunt and fielded well by first basewoman Maya Lupton. She'll take care of Blom at first base, but job done as they'll move the runners into scoring position. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter here now, and that is the first basewoman Gretchen O'Coin. She's one of those players that is a two-way threat, and it's not O'Coin. Sorry, it's Logan Morland first, the shortstop. She's the new player for Otahuhu this year. Otahuhu, I should say. She'll watch the first pitch outside. Right-handed fielding is Morland. Left-handed batting, as you can see here in the batter's box. That is definitely a trait that is taught in the United States, Lani.
Starting to see more and more lefties coming through, eh? There's plenty of them out there now.
Well, we know there's an advantage to batting left-handed, and they will take all the advantage they can get in the United States. And one on the outside edge just clips it. Moreland will lick her fingertips at the thought of that being a strike. Here's a good pitch from Clark. Will it get over the left footer's head? No, it won't. Oh, it comes off the glove. Unfortunate out there because she'd done a lot of work to get there. And the result of that tip off the glove at left field will mean Moreland will stand up going into 3. Otahuhu will play 2 runs and tie this one up. Sam Smith out there left field. Lonnie thought she had a beat on it. It was going over her head, but she'd done enough work to get to it.
Done enough work to get to it, but that wind out there will be moving that ball around, you know, and unless you're 110% on it, it's going to get you every time.
It's a question mark. Do we make it an error or do we make it a hit? I'm not an official scorer, so I have no idea.
My gut's saying error on this one. It's come off the glove.
Fair enough.
It was
okay.
there.
Maybe an exceptional play to get it. You guys can tell us if you like, but we're going to put it in the book as an error this particular time. Swirling in that wind. Remember, it's coming in from centre field, and that coming off the bat of the left-handed hitter, so it is always going to tail away. And looking at the bunt and run, I think actually a squeeze play there, Lani, as you see Moreland a fair way down the track on it.
Mate, she was coming regardless, wasn't she?
We saw a couple of plays from Otahuhu last night, squeeze plays indeed, so something they're looking to put into the repertoire early in the season. Well, O'Coin digs in from the left side here. Sashi Clark leans back. And it's up top. Big, tall right-hander is Sashi Clark. Still a youngster in her own mind. Hasn't reached the 20-year mark. Maybe about 18, I think. Actually, I know she's 18. So a good future ahead of Sashi Clark here at the Waitakere Bears Club. Fouled back. Played a season over on the shore last year, did Sashi Clark, with Northcote team, Prem Reserve level, but needing to play Premier softball this year, she has come back to her original club, Waitakere Bears.
It's actually surprising, seeing a huge amount of movement amongst all the girls around the clubs this year. You know,
I tell you what, whoever's That one comes through the zone and they will throw her out. She'll try and come home on the play, and she does, Moreland. So O'Coin gets a free RBI there. Strikeout and low lifter. She swings underneath it, but it just pops out of the glove of the catcher, Tamai. Tamai has to hustle out, throws it down to Lupton at first base. At least gets that out, but Moreland takes the invite, slides into home, and they grab the lead.
You've got to give it to Otahuhu. They're looking strong this year. Just a wee bit of a change dynamic. Obviously, a few new players coming in, but it's made all the difference for them.
Left fielder now, Tanisa Hokamo steps in. Otahuhu, bronze medalist at the New Zealand Club Nationals last year, pipped out of a opportunity to get to the final by Magpies in the first semi-final, then went to the sudden death semi-final, and that was against Howick, pipped in that one, so they finished in third place. Howick went on to play Magpies in the grand final of the 2019 Women's Club Nationals. Magpies coming out victors in that one. Here's a hard hit ball, but with the experience of Kayla Bromhead out there, even with that westy wind, she was able to take care of it.
Yeah, nice catch by Kylie there. You could see she almost overran it, but held up in time, took the catch. Still 3-2 up to Otahuhu.
It is indeed. Otahuhu strike 3 times, 2 off the bat of Moreland, and then Moreland slides in home on the drop third strike. They lead 3 runs to 2. Back top of the second next. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the second innings here. Action-packed match so far between Waitakere Bears. We're batting now in the top of the second innings, taking on Otahuhu. The score is 3 runs to 2. Otahuhu leading. And we are playing fast pitch rules, so Sam Smith will be the batter, of course, as you can see on the screen. The base runner who did start at second base, of course, was Kiara Tamai was the batter to go out there, but they have a designated runner on their lineup today here, and so that means Tyann Bromhead Lamalu will be running out there. Here's a hard hit ball, looks plenty deep enough. Well, not quite, going backwards. Bromhead Lamalu choosing to play it safe. So one down here as Smith flies out to left field. That'll bring up Maya Lupton, hard-hitting slugger, first basewoman for Waitakere Bears. First delivery from Lauren Parker to Lupton is low. Apologies for that wind on the microphones. Not a lot we can do about it. We are going to whip off after this game. See if we can't get some weather socks Don't know how sport we are, Lani, sitting in that nice, comfortable, protected booth in Rosedale Ballpark. But you know what? It's a beautiful day here at Starling Park. If you're in the area, I tell you what, finish your cup of coffee and your croissant. Oh, here's a harder ball. Told you she's a slugger, and she will score a run. Does Lupton, gets the job done. Interesting to watch there. Alex Blom, the right fielder. Only play she had was to try and pick up Lupton going to first base. So Gretchen O'Coin hadn't thought about that. And she's like, oops, I'm not back there in time. So either way, good strike by Lupton. Plates another run here. Ties the ball game, 3 runs apiece. Now here's one of the most exciting players I think you'll find in the Waitakere Bears lineup. And that is the shortstop, Michaela Cross. Built for speed, of course, finesse with the glove, but real good contact hitter. Low stance you can see here in the batter's box. Gets on the back end of the line, but it'll fly out to the centre fielder. That is Miriam Amakia. Tell you what, there'll be plenty of softball to come from the shortstop from Waitakere Bears. Don't worry about that through her career. Top of the shop now, Kayla Clark. Remember, she got on by fielder's choice, a ground ball to second base in the top of the first innings. Here's one to second base again, but it's over the top. Good stroke by Clark. And you just, as you mentioned earlier, Lani, you just can't put a price on experience.
No. And again, you know, Kayla, not a huge hitter. She's not going to put it over the back fence. But at the end of the day, especially out here at the tax, contact hitting.
The tax.
The tax, mate.
Is that what you call it locally? The tax. Waitakere Rangers. We're in the tax, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's see what Karina Howell can do in the tax. One just short. Hops up, no chance for Hala behind the dish to block that one. So the runners will go up 60 feet. Hale pulls that little inside drop ball, maybe a little bit off that one, foul down the third base line. Feel like I should get something to shield my microphone, Lani, because I can hear that noise in my ear of the wind. Can't be too good for the viewer.
Sound of our voices, they might have already put us on mute anyway.
Mate. Yeah, I would. That's for sure. Picture's good, that'll do. I'll turn some music on instead.
There you go.
Foul back. Karina Hale, always a tough out, isn't he? You mentioned that in her first at bat. You know, she worked about an 8 or 9 pitch walk in the first time up.
Yep. Just won't give anything away, you know. They'll get her every now and then, but I mean, you're going to have to work for it. There's no freebies here. 2
outs here, 2 runners in scoring position. Oh, it's a spinner. Well fielded by Parker there. That actually was harder than it looked. One of those ones, Q shot off the end of the bat, spinning at a great rate of knots because it was a change-up delivered to her, and Parker took her time. That was clever fielding indeed. Well, that'll do. Waitakere Bears, they do tie it up though. They pick up 1 run here in the top of the second. 3 it is, apiece. Bottom 2 come. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the bottom of the second innings, and the base runner at second base will be Hakomo. Santana Hala, the catcher, will lead off here for Otahuhu. First pitch to her is low. Next delivery from Clark is right down Main Street. Pick off behind the back. Hokomo is out there awake to that one though. 1-1 the count. Hard drop, another pick-off attempt. So plenty of throwing from behind the dish from the arm of Tamai. And she shapes up the bunt here, pulls back because the offering is low, does Huller. No outs here, of course. Normally standard rule of thought is to bunt them over. The good thing with fast pitch softball, you don't have to do that every time. Foul back. Lady Hutchinson in the booth here with us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jason Gervais, aka Chopper, as we get through game number 3 here. First game of the schedule of day 2. That is Saturday, a Labour weekend here, long weekend in Auckland. Off the end of the bat, that'll go to Omatangi. She has no choice but to go to first base. So Huller gets the job done, moving Hokomo over to third base. Lani, with the 2 matches in last night and this morning's match, what do you think is going to happen in this tournament? What type of competition do you think we'll see?
It's going to be an interesting one, Jobs. My gut's saying that Otahuhu are going to actually be quite strong in this one, but look, Marist, they're a completely different team this year, eh? We're seeing it. The big noticeable point though is, like I said, with all of those girls moving around, it's actually evened up a hell of a lot of these teams. No one's really the standout at the moment, and with the fast pitch rules, it's anyone's game. You know, the errors are going to count.
Well, it's anyone's game indeed, and exciting to see. I like this fast pitch concept. And fouls that one back. Talking about fast pitch concept, of course, there is the new Fastball 45 coming up in November. Should be outstanding. 4 teams from Auckland in the men's competition, 4 teams from Auckland in the women's competition going against each other. 45-minute matches, 4 innings only. Exciting, runners on base every innings, and a whole slew of new rules to make the game even faster. That one goes through the legs of the shortstop, young Michaela Cross. You won't see that very often. To be fair, a hard-hit ball off the batter Parker.
But there's that error we're talking about, you know. Simple error like that, and unfortunately it can change the game completely.
Well, it's a tight one here, isn't it, this morning? Much different concept than we saw in the first 2 matches of this tournament. That'll bring up to bat now the third basewoman, Ariana Kingi. 4-3 the scoreline, of course, with that run coming across to Otahuhu. They have the lead now here in the bottom of the second innings. Fastball 45 we're talking about should be outstanding. 3 weekends of competition. It'll all be live on Sky. Sky Sport 9 indeed is the channel for that competition. This one, Sky's up. Not to the TV this time, but to the backstop net. And that'll be Friday the 8th. It all kicks off. 2 games, 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. The ladies are playing at 7. The men are playing at 8. That'll be on Friday and Saturday night, 3 weekends in a row. So 8 and 9 first that weekend in November, then 15, 16, and of course 23 and 30. 22 and 23. Maybe I could learn to count. So it should be outstanding. Great to see softball all over the TV this season. Partnership with Sky Sport has been outstanding. We've seen a lot of competitions broadcast recently, Lani, through Sky Sport. course, the TAB Challenge Cup back in February, then the Men's World Championship all the way from Europe, being televised live, all Black Sox games, and now the Fastball 45. It's exciting times ahead.
Oh, look, it is. I mean, just the fact that you start to see the sport on Sky is making a huge difference out there.
Big call from the dugout as Parker looks to take off from first base on the pitch. Foul ball though, so she'll come back and reset. Yeah, it's exciting times indeed, and we all know with more exposure you're going to get more numbers. So all you softball clubs around the country in New Zealand, get prepared for an influx of players. This one's up in the air. Crosses underneath. She's got a long way to come though. But she's up for the task. Young Michaela Crosser will take the out. Another youngster now will be the second baseman for Otahuhu. That's Madison Gerbies. Two outs now, of course. Leading by 1 run, Otahuhu. Inside drop ball. Everyone moving in the right direction out there, Lani, for Waitakere Bears. See Omatangi with that bright glove, but she's cooking her feet as well.
She's doing nice work, actually. They're actually they're moving in unison, which is good to see.
Good coaching staff over at Waitakere Bears. Has been for a couple of years. Led by Dion Nukunuku. And, of course, assisted this year by Broden Bucky. Outstanding softball. This is a hard hit one, but it'll get underneath it. They'll converge. Kayla Clark will take over from Bromhead at right field. They smile and bump shoulders on the way in. Well, they'll pick up the go-ahead run of Otahuhu here in the bottom of the second innings. But we've got ourselves a close one, Lani. We'll be back with the top of the three. Fourth. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the top of the third innings, and we've got ourselves a beauty here. Waitakere Bears, the hosts of this tournament, taking on Otahuhu. Third place finishes in the 2019 New Zealand Club National Championships last season. Two top ball clubs in the country going head to head here. 9 a.m. matchup. We are playing fast pitch rules, remember, and the base runner will be the designated runner down at third base for this one being the third innings. And that is Tyann Bromhead Lamalu. And this is
Kyla.
Mum? Yes, right.
Yep. Right. The mum-daughter combo.
Come on, Mum. Drive me in. That's what Tyann will be saying to a mum, Kyla, here in the batter's box. Oh, and a hard swing by Bromhead there. Boy, if she got on the back end of that one, would have gone a long way, Lani.
Yeah, Kyla's another power hitter for this team. I mean, again, it's just all that experience, eh? So, yeah, I mean, you've got the triple. You've got the triple with the Bromheads. All three sisters playing here.
That's right.
I mean, obviously to have Tyann in there now, brings in the fourth. So it shows the strength of that actual softball depth within that family alone.
I remember, it must have been about 4 or 5 years ago now, maybe a little longer. And all three of them made the White Sox for one tour or one event or something.
Yep.
It was quite a special moment. Change up, just left hanging over the top of the zone. You see the catcher's glove is right there, but remember it's where it crosses the plate is where it counts.
And I mean, the work that Kyla does do on the coaching side as well. I mean, stepping in now, I think she went away with the 23s overseas here in Stan.
Yeah, she did.
Team over there.
Yeah, and they went to the Canada Cup. Yep.
So she's stepping up through the coaching ranks now. Takes the 18s here, and I think you'll find that she'll be with the Auckland 18s this year as well.
Well, having such a long career in the White Sox, Kayla, why wouldn't you use that experience in the international program, and obviously helping out the New Zealand under 23 woman? Drop ball this time, same spot up above, and she will go down on a well-earned walk or Bromhead. So there'll be runners in the corners here, no outs for Waitakere Bears. Rebecca, she flew out to shallow left field her first at bat. Time called by the catcher, Hala. We'll go out here, make sure everyone's on the same program. You see this quite often in the early stages of a season. It's not pre-season, but it's right at the beginning of the season here in New Zealand. And they'll just work on their defensive patterns here, Lani, won't they?
Yep, they're going to want to try to lock this down. I mean, Tyann, another one of the young ones, she's a speedster. She's going to be eager to come home. Kyla's no slow one either. And with Rebecca, all she's going to need to do is actually punch a contact hit through here, and that'll bring the scores back to even again.
Well, that's right. There's only one run the difference, and there's plenty of game in this one. 1.5 is the scheduled time. We've 3 minutes so far in this match, so right around halfway mark. For those that haven't been to Waitakere Bears ballpark here at Starling Park, play on artificial turf here on Diamond 1. Tiger Turf, I think, is the brand. It's been here now, must be about 4 years.
Coming up 4 years
Yeah,
now.
yeah, around about that.
Still holding strong.
Yes, indeed, and it has a long pile, the artificial grass, and amongst it is a rubber granule. It's a black one, so makes it nice and easy. Drains well. You don't have to rake the diamond and all that stuff. Mark the diamond. The only thing it can be, in the middle of summer, those black granules can get quite hot.
They heat up, and the only other annoying part is they fill your shoes up. Doesn't matter how tight you got them tied.
Here's a hard hit ball. Will it be deep enough? It'll be the international arm of Mark here, and it's cut off by O'Coin. It's well and truly deep enough. Professional hitting by Bromhead plates the tying run here. 4 runs apiece. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This is a goodie.
So no, nice work by Rebecca there, just popping that sacrifice floater up. Tyann waiting to spring. And next up we've got the slapper with Tennille up, and she'll be looking to bring Kyla through.
Well, it's definitely coach's strategy here, isn't it, to mix up the lineup, and using a lefty slapper in your 5 spot. You'll never see that in a normal lineup, and but that's the coaching of Dion Nukunuku, thinking outside the square a little bit, and he's looking to plate runners, isn't he?
Yep, absolutely. Very, very technical coach, and I mean he plays a pretty tight strategy when he plays matches. At times, I'm quite sure the scorers tear their hair out with the amount of changes and positionals that he'll complete through a game. But it keeps the opposition thinking, and it's all part of it.
Well, you'd have to call him the mastermind of the designated rule, designated player rule, because fights this one off to Neil, moves the count 1 and 2. He will make a slew of changes sometimes. Not one so far apart from the designated runner on this one, so he's been really laid back here this morning. Kind of glad.
Give it time. It'll come. It'll come.
There must be ink. There must be twink. There must be wide out. You need everything when Nukunuku's coaching, that's for sure. Slow grounder to the shortstop. Need to be a good transfer. It is. The arm is very strong from Moreland. And it'll throw out the boy, oh boy, I tell you, I don't know about you, Lenny, but breakfast just arrived. You beauty. Bacon and egg roll, Lenny. And it's got tomato sauce and it's got barbecue sauce by the looks. How about that? Are you hungry over there, Lenny?
I'm always hungry, mate.
All right.
So while Chopper's actually munching down his breakfast, we'll come back to the game. We've got Kiara Tomo in the box currently. Kyla Bromhead down on 2. I think 2 down there for the Bears.
Sure is, my friend.
2 down.
Tamai, you remember, grounded out to the second basewoman her first at bat.
It's another young one though. I mean, but again, when she does get hold of this ball, it will go.
And she's got a hold of this one.
It's going to float.
The wind has just caught it though, and Blom at right field will sit underneath it with a two-handed catch. But it is Waitakere Bears that strike in the top of the third innings, Lani. They pick up the tying run. Boy, oh boy, you can't blink an eye at all because this one's moving so quick. 4-all, bottom 3 coming up next. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wooden Tunnel starting park on a Saturday morning of the long weekend. This is the Waitakere Bears Fast Pitch Classic Tournament. I'm Jason Gerbies, aka Chopper. Lonnie Hutchinson joining me in the booth here. We've got to get ourselves a goodie. Waitakere Bears batting first in this one. Picked up 2 in the first, 1 in the second and the third. That gives them 4 runs. Otahuhu come out of the blocks real fast. 3 runs early. Shallow fly ball. Will they try to score it? Gerbies is coming from 3. It'll be a bang-bang play, but it comes off the glove of Tamai. Can't quite hold the catch. So no time to give you the update on the game because it's happening quickly as Markia sacrifice flies to Bromhead at right field. And we have a lead change again. Otahuhu lead 5-4. Alex Blom now will step in. She is the opposing right fielder. Takes one through the kitchen. We're saying that Otahuhu came out of the blocks quickly, scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first innings, then 1 apiece in the second and the third. A lot of runs, you might say, 9 runs through 3 innings so far. And that's because we're playing fast pitch rules. The runner will start on 1 in the first, 2nd on the second, and 3rd innings will be a runner at 3. 4th innings, we'll go back to first base. That'll be the next innings. This one will sail back over the top. Wind is up a little bit, blowing in from centre field this morning. Makes the temperature just a little cooler. We are going for a high of 17 today. It does say 16 on the weather map, but also feels like 14 at this point. 31 kilometres is the wind velocity coming out of the ranges. That's in the distance you will see there. Bit of breeze this morning, they say, but that should die down around about 2-3 p.m. this afternoon. So as we go through this, a full slew of games today, the weather's just going to get better and better. Other matches for Saturday, of course, it is Auckland Maris taking on Howick. They're over on Diamond 2 this morning's lineup. Auckland Maris will then move over to Diamond 1 to take on Mount Albert Ramblers. One just comes out of the hand of Sashi Clark. 12:30, we'll see Bears take on Ramblers. Howick will take on Otahuhu. Then there'll be matches at 2:15 and 4 o'clock will be the last round today. An hour and a half matches. We mentioned 4 points a win. There's a bonus point, 1 point if you lose by 2 or less runs, and 1 point for a tiebreaker loss. Liner down, the line goes foul. Pitchers only get one warm-up pitch as the catcher comes out. That keeps the game moving. As an hour and a half, that means we'll still get plenty of innings, Lonnie. How's that burger you just scoffed down? You inhaled that, by the way.
Yeah, I did. That was breakfast, so we sucked that down pretty quick.
Oh, that's good to see. Foul back. That wind just getting up a bit more there for you. Just see if we can't shield that a little bit. Clark ready now. A signal from Tamai behind the dish. And it's a kind of a curling screwball, if you like. Pulled foul by Blom. Blom comes out of Kansas. First time playing for Otahuhu this year. 3 import players. Of course. Blom, that is batting now. Then Moreland, the shortstop, who'll bat next. She's out of California, up Sacramento way. And then Gretchen O'Coin. She's been here a few seasons now.
Yeah, I think it's probably her second or third season.
Yeah, it could be third. Good hitter, the two-way player is O'Coin. First base in this one. Pitched last night's matchup against Mount Albert Ramblers. This one comes out of the hand of Clark. Hard hit ball, just ducks underneath. It was one of those ones, a top spinner. Spins out of the way of Michaela Cross. Hard hit ball by Blom, to be fair.
Yeah, but she put some power behind that. That was a solid drive. Still, runner on for them. Here we go.
One down here, and it'll be Logan Moreland. She caused the error. That was the, if I remember correctly, that's right, come off the glove of Sam Smith in left field. Up top. Blom looks like a threat to run at first base. Lonnie?
Again, with all these imports, I mean, it's one thing you do notice with the American girls, they're fast.
Yeah.
And I mean, they get the opportunity, they're gone. Saw a lot with the Magpies last year. And we're seeing more and more imports actually coming down to New Zealand to play. It's good to see.
Also good to see that location of that pitch from Sashi Clark on the mound here for Waitakere Bears. Picture perfect outside edge, almost unhittable out there, to be fair. And this will just dunk it into centre field, and they'll go station to station here. 2 runners on, 1 down for the first basewoman, Gretchen O'Coin. One run the lead here for Otahuhu, of course. That sacrifice from Miriam Mamakia getting us started here in the bottom of the 3rd innings. Officials in this one, of course, Lance tight behind the dish. Simon Lindsay out at 3rd base and Dave out at 2nd. So great to have their experience here this week. running bunt by O'Coin is good. And they'll move the runners over, load them up now. Bring up the left fielder, Hokamo. Just using all the tools here, Lani.
They're definitely using all the tools. I mean, Gretchen, we've seen her for a few seasons now. I mean, she was even involved with the, which was fantastic to see, the under 18s down in Hamilton last year.
Right.
Imported, coming and play, but actually stepped up and was coaching that team as well. So, I mean, the skill sets that these girls are bringing down, and you see it when they do play, you know. Picture perfect bunt.
Yeah.
Cause the confusion and move the runners.
And it'll bring out to the mound here, just a chat here from the head coach from Waitakere Bears. That is Dion Nukunuku. And for those who don't know, Dion, he was a long-time member of the New Zealand Black Sox. And in his very last at-bat for the Black Sox, Lani, was 2004. It was the grand final against Canada. And it was around about the 8th innings from memory.
Yeah.
No, it's not the 8th, the 7th innings. 7th or 6th innings. And he goes the other way, hits a bomb in his last at-bat, salutes his family and the crowd as he rounds second. One of the proudest moments in his career, he tells me.
Yeah. And that was a huge bomb. I think that's been watched on YouTube God knows how many times now.
Sure.
It was huge.
That one comes through the zone.
It was a nice pitch. They just floated in, actually. Sort of wasn't quite a change-up, but slowed down considerably.
Can go all day here, Ken Sashi Clark, for Waitakere Bears. This one's on the hand. You can just see a definitely strategy there to keep it inside on Hokamo, not allowing her to free her arms.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to want to tie them up. I mean, girls like this, they can hit that solid, hard contact, you know. They don't want these extra couple of runs bringing in. I mean, okay, we're only in the third, but we're coming up to near on an hour's play now. They're going to want to tighten it up, just keep it contained.
Keep it contained, indeed. Hard hit ball, but the wind will bring it back a little bit. Will it be deep enough? They're going to attempt the throw, and nice job. Great to see the pitcher, Clark, backing up Tamai at the dish there on that play. Well executed. Good catch by Sam Smith as well.
It was nice work from Smith then. I mean, you could see she wasn't going to have another one come off the edge of the glove. And that peace of mind actually to get that into home plate just to stop that third base run coming in.
That'll bring out the catcher now, Santana Hala. All the teams will be playing 3 games today. Here's a hard ball hit from Hala. There's no way that Smith will catch this one, and won't need to either, as it just goes foul.
Mate, that went foul by a whisker. And I mean, she got out of jail on that one because there was 2 guaranteed runs coming in if that had been just an inch to the right.
Well, sometimes it's that hair and a whisker that makes the difference, and in this particular case, it sure is for the hit of the bat, the strike of the bat here from Hala. Clark will try to take advantage of it. She'll go the other way though, Hala. Boy, oh boy, it's coast to coast. This one is foul by amounts.
Again, there's that westy wind for you. It'll just push it. You can't play the lines on these ones.
Watch out for that westy wind when you're in the tax.
Absolutely.
Just one of those things. Of course, over the Waitakere Ranges is not far to the coast. Piha and beaches like that over there, and obviously the west coast of New Zealand, predominantly more windier than the east coast, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite amazing. The locals out here literally use the Waitakere Ranges as their rain guide. You can't see them 100% clear, you've got rain coming. It's that simple. Exactly.
Now, I'm not saying it's windy from the west because that's where Australia is and our friends over there talk a lot, but however, that's where the wind comes from anyway. Well, nice strike out there by Clark, sits down Hala, and it's the first time in the ball game no one scored a run in innings. So 5-4 is the score, and it'll be top of the 4 when we come back. Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Waitakere Bears Classic Fast Pitch Softball Tournament here Labour Weekend. Long weekend here in Auckland. Started last night, 2 matches. Otahuhu taking on Mount Albert Ramblers in a one-sided result to Otahuhu. And it's a quick snap play by Okoi in that first, and nothing, unfortunately, Bromhead Lamalu can do on that one. So a quick double play gets us started here, Lani.
An exceptional jump by Auckland at 1 there. I mean, she literally snatched that out of the air, and Tyard just had nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go indeed. So that'll bring up now the slugger, Maya Lupton. You remember that she went to the right field this time. This one's a weak ground ball over to Kingy, and like that, 2 batters, 3 pitches, I think, Lani.
Boom.
I'll tell you what, let's go to another break. Well, welcome back here to the thunderstruck of this fast pitch matchup between Waitakere Bears and Otahuhu. Waitakere Bears have gone through 3 innings of defensive work against Otahuhu, restricted them to 5 runs, 3 in the first, 2 in the 1 in each of the second and third innings. None. Just starting this one, of course, and it'll be running at first base, Santana Hala. Lauren Parker will be the batter. She fouls off the bunt, trying to get her over. We have a new pitcher on the mound. That'll be Tori Talamahina, and she will be replacing the starter, Sashi Clark. Sashi Clark through 3 innings of work, 15 batters she faced. She did allow, of course, all the runs in the match so far. 2 strikeouts, no walks and 4 hits, so that's not a bad little pass mark. There's a lot of runs in this because we're playing fast pitch rules, so a runner starts on base every inning. So this one's hard hit, but the centre fielder has played in and then gone back, and it's gone over the top. Just couldn't quite get the read on it out there, Kayla Clark. That breeze blowing in from the centre field. That'll bring up the third baseman now. That is Ariana Kingy. The bunt is good by Kingy and defensively played well by Lupton and Oma Tangi. But it will move the runners over into scoring position here for Gerbies to come in a bat. Fundamentals of softball, Lani, also important.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, it's the big thing that we have seen with some of the players coming through the grades, where they haven't actually been given.
Hard hit ball through the 5-6 hole. It'll bring in one. And then it'll go through Sam Smith in left field. This could be an into Parker with the pace of Gerbies. She rounds 2 and 3. They've only just picked up the ball. And indeed, Gerbies picks up an into Parker, albeit through the error of the left fielder. That'll move the score now. 3 runs score in that play. 8 runs to 4.
It was an absolutely beautiful hit there, just a screamer down that third base line. I mean, there we go. There's that point, eh? Error comes into play. Either way, infield home run. She's got to be happy with that.
Well, no, mother will be happy. That's for sure. Sitting over there, all rugged up with a blanket and things, because it's a little cool this morning. But international star here, Miriam Amakia, she will take over in the batter's box. We saw her exploits in Chongmen Island, Shanghai in China earlier this off-season at the Oceania Asia qualifier for the Olympics. Outstanding tournament from Miriama. Played second base through that one. Great defensive plays, Lani, but offensively, one of the best in the team.
Yeah, look, she's a pack. She absolutely packs a punch when she gets hold of it.
I tell you what, not today, because it's good morning, good afternoon, and good night. How about setting her up for that one?
Yeah.
She goes down on strikes.
And look, that's a massive confidence builder too for old Tori Talamahina out on the hill. You know, another one of the young ones for the Bears, just coming through, just playing 18s last year, reserves and prems this year. But I mean, that confidence booster, they need it.
I'll tell you what, Lani, I hadn't seen her since last year, Talamahina, and I didn't even recognise her. Just, you know, at that age when you're changing and growing and all those type of things, and it's great to see. I was always impressed with her pitching. She was consistent, and now she's going to be picking up a bit of velocity as well.
Yeah.
Hard hit ball from Blom. Can they play first base? No, they can't. And she will go down there. So Blom with 2 hits on the day and a sacrifice bunt, getting the job done all over the shop.
No, it's amazing. I mean, we're used to driving all these kids around to the bloody games.
Yeah.
And they're all coming to that age now where they're driving themselves.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't wait until my daughter gets her driver's license, to be fair. Up top, Moreland. She got on via the error to left field her first at bat, and then hard single up the middle her second. This one's skied up though. It'll be a tough one here for across the shortstop. She'll step out of the way and let Smith take it. That's well done, because she's coming forward there, Smith, the left fielder. Either way, they will take the third out, but not before they plate 3 runs, and it's off the bat of young Gerbies.
Look at that, mate. You got to be happy. Mum's happy, Dad's happy, and Otahuhu slide 8-4 up.
All we need her now is to pass her driver's license, and we'll be real happy. 8-4 is the scoreline. It is Otahuhu leading Waitakere Bears. It'll be top of the 5th when we come back.
DeMarini bats are made for the way you play, plain and simple. We've got a bat designed to work for you when it counts. Game time. With 22% stronger carbon fibers, the Paraflex composite barrel allows for even more precise weight distribution on the CF9 than ever before. We can put the weight closer to the handle for slappers, distribute it evenly along the barrel for contact hitters, or toward the end cap for power hitters. You should never have to settle for a bat designed for the masses. By building with this stronger composite, we can also use fewer materials. This makes for a lighter swinging bat with a Texas-sized sweet spot.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and a nice lead-off stroke there from shortstop from Waitakere Bears. That is Michaela Cross. She'll move Tyon Bromhead Lamalu, the designated runner, over to third base. As we see the introduction into the ball game, will be a replacement pitcher here. That is Miki Cooper-Nicola taking over from Lauren Parker. First delivery, as you just saw, got dispatched to right field. Lauren Parker was the starter for Otahuhu. She's thrown all the innings thus far in the ball game. And let me just get this in the scorebook first, and then I'll give you the stats of what Parker did. So Lauren Parker, as we mentioned, she was the starter for Otahuhu in this one. She went through 4 innings of work, 17 batters she faced. She did give up all of the runs, only one of them an earn because it's fast pitch rules. 1 strikeout, 2 hits and 3 walks was Parker's day here today. Cooper-Nicola, new youngster on the scene, comes out of the Waikato region. Only 16 years of age, Lani.
Quite amazing, isn't it? Just quite amazing the age of some of these girls and the skills they've got. And I mean the pathways that they're actually starting to see opened up into the American universities now. It's great stuff for them.
Well, Mum must have some shares in the petrol company because they're up and down all the time for trainings and games. But they have 2 kids playing. Miki playing here for Otahuhu, and the boy playing for Roosters. A check at second base, no chance to make the play there for Kingy, but does get the out at first base of Kayla Clark.
Job done though, runners 2 and 3. Bears going to need to get some runs back here quite quickly, and I mean hopefully here we go with old Hale. She'll just be looking to punch a hard one through the slot.
So 2 ducks on the pond, both in scoring position. And Hale will take the first pitch just outside the zone. Ground ball.
Not that time.
Kingy playing that one well, that's for sure. 2 good plays from her. Gets the out, checks the runner first. You got to go through the Bromhead sisters though. Tough course of action. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th innings. Runs have just dried up a little bit for Waitakere Bears. But that's when you want to go to the experience. One of the most experienced players in the team here, Kayla Bromhead. Is it Kyla or Kayla? Kyla, yeah, that's right.
We've got a Kayla as well.
Yeah.
Kayla's playing centre field, Kyla's playing.
All right. I called them Broomhead for a long while until Mum told me.
I was going to say.
Oh, and it's a good pitch by Cooper. Nicola, as she slides that drop ball through the zone and freezes Bromhead at the plate. That is a big strikeout for the 16-year-old.
Got to be happy with that. No runs in.
No runs in, unfortunately, for Waitakere Bears. That's 2 innings in a row. Pass mark for the youngster, Cooper-Nicola, for sure. 8-4 is the score. Otahuhu will come out in the bottom of the 5th inning, see if they can pad the lead. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Music's pumping because it's all happening here. The 9 o'clock game. Pick off attempt behind the back. Oh, I'll tell you what. Kiara Tamai behind the dish is not afraid to throw the ball. Lani Hutchinson.
But again, it all comes back down to the coach and the receiving, you know. No risk, no reward at the end of the day.
There's a hard hit ball and a diving attempt from Waitakere will be in vain though. The throw at Bloom and they'll try and get her at 2. Will it be a bang bang play? No, it won't as it goes past Waitakere. She had a gallant effort to dive for the first one. But Otahuhu strike quickly here in the bottom of the 5th innings. Playing another run, 9-4 the scoreline now. Tanisha Hokamo, left-hander, line drive out, first attempt, and then a fly out in her second. So 0 from 2 on the day. Fly out was deep though, deep to right centre. As you can probably hear, the breeze is still up here at Starling Ballpark. Michaela Cross plays the double hopper. The throw is strong though, that's why she can take her time on that type of play.
Job done. Runner move to 3. Starting to get away on the Bears here now. 9-4 up. There's Otahuhu.
Well, it's been one of those matches, Lanies, where it felt like it's just been like a balancing beam the whole way, and then just all of a sudden here, Otahuhu have just stretched their legs a little bit, haven't they? And you can see just there, even on the ground out on a great play by the shortstop, Michaela Cross, they played another run, so all of a sudden down the barrel of 6 runs, and it's the bottom of the 5th innings. We all know happens once they get ahead by 7.
Yep. It's crunch time. They need to shut this down. I mean, they've got the 2. They just need to take the batter now.
When Miki Nicola came in and replaced Lauren Parker on the hill at the top of the 5th innings. Well, she'll now bat for herself, young 16-year-old. 2 strikes in a row. She'll be ready to swing the next one. I think this not only was her first innings of pitching, I think this is her first at-bat at Premier level.
Premier level. There you go. Look at that.
One just low. Showing the bat, trying to get the timing at the front of the box. And just behind it on that. It's one of those things with that setup, trying to get the timing. You've got to be a strong hitter to be able to bring the bat back around to make the strike.
Nice work with the Bears though. 3 up, 3 down. It's just the one run in that one?
Well,
10-4.
They pick up 2 there in the bottom of the 5th innings, but the margin stays 1 run less than the obviously run rule ahead. So they stay within the game. We will go to the 6th. 12 minutes to go in the game clock time, as it's an hour-and-a-half match. We'll be back shortly. Top 6, Waitakere Bears. Have they got some fight? I bet they have. We'll see shortly. Well, they'll be wanting to start something for sure here, Waitakere Bears, because they are trailing by 6, and we're getting deep into this ball game. It'll be the last innings, I'd say. Can Waitakere Bears come back? Of course they can. We've seen them do it many a time. This one is not over, that's for sure. Ground ball to second base. They'll play that out. They'll be very cautious with the running at third base as well. Remember, the runner will start at 3 here. And that, of course, is Kyla Bromhead. So Rebecca grounds out to second base. That'll bring up the lefty specialist slapper, Tanio Omatangi. And it's a pick-off attempt, and she's tagged, and she is out. I get the feeling that there's a possibility there might have been a play on that one, like not a squeeze, I don't think, with the score so far apart, but she definitely was a bit down the track there, Lani.
She was definitely heading down the track, but I mean, that throw was just like a bullet that came down.
Oh. And they make the out as Oakloin slides across the white base here. Another quick innings from Waitakere Bears offensively. Bottom six coming up. It is Otahuhu that are leading this one by 6, 10-4 the scoreline.
DeMarini bats are made for the way you play, plain and simple. We've got a bat designed to work for you when it counts. Game time. With 22% stronger carbon fibers, the Paraflex composite barrel allows for even more precise weight distribution on the CF9 than ever before. We can put the weight closer to the handle for slappers, distribute it evenly along the barrel for contact hitters, or toward the end cap for power hitters. You should never have to settle for a bat designed for the masses. By building with this stronger composite, we can also use fewer materials. This makes for a lighter swinging bat with the Texas-sized sweet spot.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the bottom of the 6 innings. Been a good matchup here this morning between Waitakere Bears and Otahuhu. Otahuhu stretching their legs over the 4th and 5th inning, scoring 5 runs in those 2 innings. Ariana Kingi will lead off batting here with Miki Cooper Nicola, apologies, down at third base running. We have a replacement pitcher, third pitcher of the match, and it'll be Shia Hale taking over from Tori Talamahina. We talked a little bit about Shia before she even got on the diamond earlier, Lani, about her selection in the New Zealand Junior White Sox non-travelling reserve for the World Cup in Irvine, California earlier this year. So she has definitely got the goods, my friend.
Yeah, look, absolutely. I mean, it's that Hale pedigree coming through at the end of the day. And we've even, last year we had the younger brother in under 15s team. You know.
Yes.
They all play above their weight at the end of the day, and it's brilliant to see.
And a good low lifter curving type delivery from Hale gets Kingy swinging through that one. Level up the count now, 2-2. Same pitch, but this time she can't get it in the zone. Falls below. Through the legs of the catcher here, Tamai. Speedster down at third base, that is Cooper Nicola, decides not to go on it yet. Little smiles though. It's because they're leading by 6 runs, Otahuhu. 5 minutes left on the game clock here, Lani.
5 on the clock.
And
Six the difference.
I think the official rules are saying that if there's less than 5 minutes left, you won't start another innings.
Yep.
So really they're just betting for runs here at this point, Otahuhu. And we see the official scorer talking to the umpire at this point. But you can't stop the game at this point. You can't stop it early. You just can't start another innings early.
However,
We may stop it early.
With them being that far ahead and no chance to come back, I think he may be looking to stop this one.
Like I said, the official rules say that with... Yeah, you finished the innings. Here we go.
Yeah.
Common sense plays. Okay, back into the action here. So it is Ariana Kingi. She's got a full count on her now. Miki Cooper Nicola down a third. And of course, Shire Hell on the hill. Pitch is low, so she'll pick up a walk and go down to first base. Other changes in the field for Waitakere Bears. Wanted to give you the whole lot as be Rebecca Bromhead out at left field. Kayla Clark is out at centre. And Kyla Bromhead is at right. Down Nuka, the head coach, just comes out to have a chat to Karina Hales in the hot corner. Kayla Cross at shortstop. Tanio Omatunga is at second. Maya Upton is, Lupton I should say, is at first base. Kiara Tamai behind the dish, and as we mentioned, Shire Hale. Tori Talamahina, she came in and pitched the innings before this one. And so just the 2 innings of work she did, of course, Tori. 10 batters faced, 3 earned runs coming off her, 2 strikeouts, 4 hits, no walks, so that's a good pass, mate.
Good start.
Madison Gerbies now. First at bat, she flies out to right field. Second at bat, she drives one through the 5-6 hole. So hard it goes through Sam Smith, who's been replaced now by Bromhead at left field. Renan Parker, 3 runs. That was in the 4th innings. So the youngster just moved from Northcote to Otahuhu the first season here. Taking her opportunity. Fell back.
It's a nice swing. She wants a piece of this.
Yeah, how often do you see that, Lani, where a batter gets a good hit and the confidence bounces, doesn't it?
Especially with the young ones, you get their confidence up and they take it to another level.
Yeah. Foul back. Good battle here. You see the youngster Hale, youngster Gerby's just kind of not taking a backward step against each other. Remember, we've still got Kingy at first base and Cooper Nicola at third here. Fouls that one back. Can't remain 2-2. Miriam Markia waiting patiently on deck. No outs, of course. This one's up. Will it be deep enough? I don't think so. Kayla Clark is out there. She's got to take a basketball catch, though. And she's able to make the throw into Lupton, the cutoff. So no runners will move in the stations, and that'll bring up Miriam Markia.
Always makes me nervous when I see a catch like that.
Well, it's that westy wind and the tax.
Yeah.
That'll make you do that sometimes. Miriam Markia, resident of Wellington, played bunch of tournaments for Otahuhu as a pickup from the Ponika Kalburni club last season. She's now made the full transition, playing full time for Otahuhu, still based in Wellington, so the frequent flyer points must be up there. This one's off the end of the bat and it will be trouble if it lands, but it does land foul territory, so there is a reprieve there for Waitakere Bears. And time is fully up now, so that will be game. They can't play to run here before the time is up. So we will have a final score in this one. Otahuhu 10, Waitakere Bears 4. Liney, what do you think of the game?
Look, I mean, it was a good game to watch. They paired up fairly evenly through. And I mean, all due credit to Goobies there. That infield home run just sort of put the nail in the coffin. 3 runs brought in on that one, and then another couple of sneakers after that, and the job was done. 10-4.
8 hits to 3 today were Otahuhu, so probably deserved winners in the end, I guess, with that. Stars today, of course, the right fielder who came in to catch, that is that Alex Blom. She was 2 from 3 today. 2 from 2 because one was a walk or a sacrifice, of course, so she was perfect at the batter's box. So she definitely had herself good day. So did Gretchen O'Coin. She continues her performance from last night, 2 from 3. And you're right, it was the youngster Gerbies, 1 from 3 with a 3-run RBI single to left field. That proved the difference in the end. So that'll do us here in the 9 o'clock game. Hope you enjoyed it. It was our pleasure to bring it to you. The rest of the matches from Diamond 1 all weekend. That's right, all weekend of this 14th annual edition of the Waitakere Bears Fast Pitch Classic Tournament. That'll be brought to you here from their YouTube channel, Diamond 2, for the Otahuhu matches. Will be streamed from over there. That'll be from Otahuhu Softball Club's Facebook page. So you've got all the viewing pleasure as much as you like. Find yourself a comfortable spot this weekend. If you're out of Auckland, if you're in Auckland, get in the car, get to Starling Park. We'll see you shortly. 10:45, Auckland Mariners take on Ramblers. That's coming up next here on Diamond 1. We'll see you shortly.